my nigga Lucas fucking Copp. Fellow comedian. You know what I mean? Entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's what comedians are.
Let's toast to this shit, man.
I like to call all comedians entrepreneurs.
Why do you say that?
Because you're your own business. You're selling yourself. That's all it is, really. You're develop like you become the product. So I like to call us all entrepreneurs.
What's your business slogan?
I'm trying my best.
Trying my best. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I fuck with that. So I saw you try your best yesterday. Portland's funniest competition.
Yeah.
How the fuck was that?
Dude, I'm fucked up. All right, look. I tried
Let's
my best.
do it.
I tried my best. Dan Weber, all I wanted, my main goal, it was to win.
Mm-hmm.
But sub goal, I wanted Dan Weber to pat me on the back and be like, good job.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, no, you gotta earn that.
no,
You gotta earn
fuck
that.
no. I thought I did good, though. I don't know what I gotta do to get that pat on the back. But, I feel good. Everybody's amazing in that lineup, so I'm not tripping too much.
Yeah, what did you learn from that experience?
I learned the importance of experience in comedy. Because everyone that won, you could tell was a seasoned comic and has done this for a minute. Everybody that won deserved to win.
Right.
Like if I won, it would have been crazy. It would have been some crazy shit.
I would have been fucking hyped, dude.
I
I would have felt like I made it to the second round.
But everyone that won deserved to win, and that kind of taught me how necessary experience is in comedy, how necessary just stage time is in this shit.
Yeah.
So
What was some of the hard points while you were on stage yesterday? Like, what were the points? So there was nothing that kind of was in your brain. Were you nervous at all?
I felt calm as
No,
fuck,
no
honestly.
pre-game jitters. Okay.
Hell no.
Okay.
I don't know why. I smoked CBD cigarettes before.
That's cool.
Yeah, I smoked CBD cigarettes.
That's a
my
smart
CBD.
idea, actually.
I was sober except for CBD cigarettes. So I was calm as shit, But at the same time, maybe because Brett Lowry was pacing up and down in the green room, and he bodied it.
Yeah.
He won. So maybe I needed my nervous jitters.
I mean, some say that being nervous is good because it keeps you in the moment. You're aware of what you need to do. If you're too comfortable, you might slip up because you're taking this shit for granted. That little bit of nervousness kind of keeps you fucking going.
One thing though, I did second guess myself because my opener was originally going to be like give it up for all the comedians, and then I was going to say Portland's funniest competition. You guys think this shit's hilarious, don't you? You guys think this shit's so fucking funny, making me go against my friends. I love these guys. Now I hate them. Fuck you people. I was going to get really aggressive at first, and I was like, wait, I want them to vote for me. And I second guessed myself. I should have been mean a little bit. Like in a fun way, but I don't know.
One thing I noticed from like being an onlooker was that the crowd that's usually there for open mics wasn't the same crowd. This crowd was a little bit more skeptical of the comedian. Like they didn't just give you, like, they give cheap laughter, but they kind of reserve some of that laughter a little bit.
This wasn't an open.
Yeah, I love
They were
that.
there to judge.
Yeah, I
They were
love
there to
that.
judge. I liked it too. I liked it.
That
too.
shit
You
was
earned your
nice.
shit there. 'Cause
That shit
on the
was
open
nice.
mics, you can cough into them. You can walk up like, and they'll laugh.
Yeah, word.
That was different.
Yeah,
It was fun.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Good. So you're doing shows now. I mean, you're literally in the entrepreneurial state. You're building your show. You got a show coming up this weekend.
We got a show.
I mean, yeah. Shout out to that. We go. Where's the show gonna be at?
Shows at Khalifa Social Club, Oregon City.
Yeah, man,
You know?
for
Oh,
sure.
my bad.
Yeah, for
Social Club,
sure.
No, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Because I haven't been booked a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't been booked a lot, and I know. That's what I was talking about with some comics the other day. Because when I went to Vegas recently, and I got asked, I could do 3 shows next time I go to Vegas.
Whoa.
So I think it's like a thing where if people, they remember you from your start, and they don't see how good you get. Like, I don't know, maybe people get mad at progression or something. Like, they don't want to see you get as good or better than them. So less likely to book you. So, like, you go to a different town, they see the product you are now.
Yeah.
So, not talking shit. If you do, all right, if they want to book me, they can book me.
Do you feel like more hatred in the city of Portland towards your comedic, progression?
No, I think I just get in my hood. Like, I make up stories and shit. Like, I make it up. Like, I want people to hate me.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to not like me, and I like to use that.
It gives you something for motivation. Fuck
does.
yeah. I think the
does.
same shit when I'm on my journey.
I might be that's something I'm working on. I probably shouldn't think like that. But that's why I push so hard to make this showcase happen. It's like, if you're not gonna book me, fuck y'all. I'll make my own show.
I mean, that's not bad motivation in the sense, because you have a timeline. It's your life. At some point you're not gonna be here anymore. So who's to say you can't move how you want to move when you want to move?
I don't know how I move. Why I have my timeline is I genuinely think the world's gonna end like 2030.
Okay.
I think the world's ending in 2030.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I move, and this is the only thing I'm good at. So I figure this is the only thing I feel like I can make it in, because all I want is a bunker. All I want is a fucking bunker that I can get some of my people in, you know, and then like a stable of hoes to have babies with. I'm joking, but maybe.
If you're out there.
We need to repopulate, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. This is like, I'm on a 10-year plan. Not even 10 years. What is it, 2022? We got 8 years left?
We got 8 fucking
7 and a
years.
half.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7.5. It's summertime now, so.
It is. I don't
Fuck.
necessarily think the world's going to end 2030, but I think we're going to know if it's going to end in 2030. We're either going to know if it is or it isn't. You know, and I feel like this is the only thing I can do that can, because I'm not a genius.
Right.
I'm good at talking shit though.
Okay.
This is what I got.
So next year, Portland's Funniest. What are you gonna change about your routine from now until then, outside of just experience?
I feel like it's going to change naturally.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't even
Yeah.
say, because it's hard to even understand how you've gotten, but comedy's so weird. I think
It is.
comedy's really
It's ebb and flows. It was kind of creepy because, not creepy, but it was just interesting because of what happened that same day. No comedian spoke on the school shooting, you know?
Yeah.
And so that it's like there's a part of written material, and then there's a part of that kind of what's actually going on outside of these jokes, you know? And it's like, I you know, for me personally, I try to connect those two. Like, how do you try to connect the real world to like the comedic world?
Well, that's because you're insane.
I am insane, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm literally drinking tequila and the sun's
I
out.
would not talk about it. I didn't know about it though.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know, but in the competition format, there wasn't a lot of crowd work really.
I know.
The only thing I saw was made fun of the cowboy hat.
Brent did a lot of crowd work.
Brent
I'm not
did.
gonna lie.
Brent, but those were built into his jokes.
I know.
Like he has jokes built for crowd work.
He's a smart guy.
He is, but he's
He's a
done it
smart
for
guy.
he's done it 8 years.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, you know, these dudes been pushing it, but I feel like we're cultivating that energy that we need to get in that same conversation, honestly. You know, so it's like we just gotta hone into that shit.
And watch them.
I was studying the fuck out them niggas yesterday.
Dan Weber,
I wasn't even laughing, bro. I was studying so hard.
It's important, like especially the people with hella experience, because they just move a little different. It's like intangible why they're
Right.
You don't even know why they're
Right.
But
Stage presence. I think that was the biggest thing that separated a lot of people. You know, you could tell who was like not comfortable being on stage in front of that large
that was a
amount of
big ass
people.
crowd. I think it was almost 100.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people.
Was that the biggest crowd you were in front of?
Probably.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was probably a big crowd.
What's up? That's
Felt
what's
calm,
up.
though.
Yeah.
Hella CBD. I was high as shit on CBD. I was fucked up. Yeah. So it was fine.
See, that's the good part about having materials, because when you get kind of in that interesting psychological state, you can just.
I could do my shit unconscious.
That's what I'm saying. That
I can.
unconsciousness.
And that's what makes it easier to like break off, and then when you fuck with people, you know where your place is, your set you're at, you know.
Right.
You just come back to that.
Right. Right.
Going.
Is there? Do you think there's a reason why you haven't been booked as much as you think you deserve?
I really do think it's because people don't see like what I was talking about before. People see how you started, and that's like, because first impressions are a big thing.
Yeah.
Aren't you? You're a psychologist.
Of course.
You know what I'm talking about.
Of
Like
course.
that first impression, like we act like it's not important. It's really important, and they remember that. And I said some crazy shit in the beginning. I was saying crazy shit.
Same.
I did. I did. I don't even say retard anymore. I say R word now.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I say a bunch of. I barely say the N word. I say N word now. That's crazy. How did white women scare me out of saying my own word? Come on, that's crazy.
They got us all.
They got us.
So, I don't know. I think they see that initial thing and then that growth. Because I've grown a lot. I've gotten
Fuck
good
yeah.
pretty quick. I
Yeah.
know I have.
Yeah.
I've gotten more. I've always been funny. That's the
We
other thing.
started around the same time, dude.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And I think we've always been funny. But like we were always funny around our friends.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to take that and put that on stage.
Yeah.
And that's what we're learning how to do.
Okay, what's the hardest thing to transition from like the funny around friends to the funny around on the stage? Like, what's the hardest thing to make that transition?
I think context.
Context.
I think
Ooh.
because like when you're with your friends, you're telling stories and shit. They know all the characters. They know the backstories.
Yeah.
That's why if you see a new comic get on stage, they're always gonna tell a story.
Yeah.
Every single time, like their first time on stage, they'll probably tell a story.
Yeah.
Because that's what's funny to their friends.
Yeah.
And then we all just stare at them.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Translating on stage is setting up the context of that story quickly so they don't get bored, and then having jokes in the setup of the context, and then telling the story.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what you learn to do. I think that's the distinguishing thing.
So how do you prepare your material prior to getting on stage?
I write my shit. I write
Okay.
the fuck out of it.
And you just read it and memorize it? That's how you remember your shit?
I write it and then I don't read it. I just write it out so I have it, so I feel safe, like I can go back if I forget anything. But
Okay.
I write it because I took a speech class in college.
Oh, shit,
so
okay.
I write everything how they taught me. Like I write transitions, like I can separate.
Wow.
You know, I do a whole thing.
I wish I could do that. I wish.
You should try.
I'm gonna
Maybe
try.
try.
I'm gonna try at
Maybe
some
try
point.
it out. I know you know how to type it out. Type that shit.
Right.
But
Fuck.
I don't necessarily. I don't say it word for word, but I like. And then I'll edit it out on stage, kind of.
Yeah.
And I just remember it in my head. But if I ever forget it, I can go back and see how I originally intended to say it. You know. But I work hard. I write it out.
Yeah.
Word for word. I have everything. I have like 650 jokes written.
Shit.
Word for word.
Damn.
I wrote a lot during Khalifa's because I did the 10 every show.
Yeah,
I
that.
wrote like 100 jokes during that.
Okay, Khalifa's. That's another point. We're gonna get to that. So do you do heavily video record your shit? Like,
record everything.
okay, yeah. So for
Either
me,
audio or video.
that's how I remember. I video record all my shit basically, and then I listen to it, and then I pick from the joke what's funny, and then I just bullet that shit.
I mean, that's the beauty of like what you do is you go on stage and you're freeballing a lot of the time, and then you go back and listen to it and you find what freeballing can be turned into a joke.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
We got it.
taking, like I'm about to take before our show, like tonight and tomorrow and the next day, I'm just gonna be fucking around.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how you prepare for hosting. And I feel like that's a different comedy muscle. Like there's multiple comedy muscles. I was talking about this with someone yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
There's roasting. Okay. There's written material, and then there's being just free on stage and talking.
Yeah, there's
about
philosophical material too.
you know, and philosophical.
That's a tough bag to make funny sometimes, man.
You get philosophical sometimes.
It's tough though to make funny because it could silence the crowd. Like, how do you deal with that silence?
I don't like silence.
Ooh.
I don't like because my joke. I'm not drinking. My shit's only like each of my jokes is like 30 seconds. My jokes are really short.
Okay.
Ba, 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 ba. That's how
Yeah.
I like it. I don't like sitting there.
You don't like sitting in that
I
that
don't.
scariness.
I really don't.
You're like shit.
But that's something I gotta learn to like. I'll be
Yeah.
fine with at least.
Have you ever tried stretching one joke out for an entire
Bro,
mic?
that's what people keep telling me. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm telling you, man.
Every joke I have is a concept.
Yeah.
You know, so it is something you can stretch out. Everything.
Because you have good stories too. I mean,
I don't lie on stage.
Yeah.
I don't lie. Like, I've been to 22 funerals.
sweet.
Like that day of my Portland's funniest. I went to a funeral yesterday. I went to my grandma's funeral.
Oh
the day
shit!
before.
That's why I was 21.
Yeah.
I paid attention to that because I was like,
21. I had a funeral too.
I was used to 20, and then you said 21. I was like,
I went to one that
that's
day.
funny. I paid attention to that.
Yeah, that's the. It's like the juxtaposition. That's what it's comedy and tragedy. Like I felt okay about it because I was fucked up that day. That whole day I was emotional as fuck all day. I was crying my ass off all day.
Oh, that pain, man. That pain. Okay, so Khalifa's. What is that establishment?
It's a comedy club, I guess, where you can smoke inside, which creates a different audience because everyone's high.
What's the difference between a high audience and a typical audience in a bar?
Well, because people in a bar, if they're regular people, they understand jokes. Drunk people understand setup. So if it sounds like a joke and the punchline sounds funny, they'll laugh. I think high people, they get like, you can be like, look at this fucking guy, he's got a pick in his hair, and they'll laugh at some shit like that, like just pointing at shit, they'll laugh
Right.
at. You know, like I point at Flo, look how high this dude is. He's just staring at the
Observation.
wall. They like observational shit. I don't know why. They like things they can just look at and it's tangible in the moment, and they'll laugh at that. It forces you to be more in the moment, I think. Because the comic, like, we watched the Khalifa's, who was successful and unsuccessful. You know? Like, the comics that did all their written material bombed every time. They bombed every time. That's why I learned, like, they like my written material.
No comment.
They bombed every time. It's fucked up. They only laughed at my written material if I said I wrote it the day before.
Yeah.
When I wrote it the day before, they thought that was funny because it was in the moment, kinda, because I wrote it last night.
Yeah.
They thought that shit was funny, but they would talk shit if I was telling my regular jokes.
Yeah.
They're high.
I was gonna say that's where that silence is at. Like,
Yes.
if there's any place where people are silent, it's a silent weed ass crowd,
'Cause
bro.
They just smile.
They're just fucking looking at you,
Like
just high, bro. They're like, bro, grab my attention, bro, because I'm stoned as shit right now.
That's the difference, though. That is the difference. It's way different.
I have to say personally, Khalifa's has made me like the amount of growth I got from just hanging out with those dudes the couple of times I was there was fucking monumental. One, because you gave us fucking 30 minutes at an open mic, which is unheard
You did
of.
40.
Yeah, so I didn't even know I did 40 until I like looked over. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so that type of experience for a young comic, because any city you go to, you're waiting in a fucking hour line to get 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops, 5 minutes if it's a great mic.
I was talking to Caleb Evans, they had 2-minute mics.
Hell no.
What are you talking about? What am I gonna do in 2 minutes?
I'm just gonna scratch my dick the whole time I'm on stage. That's it. And then we're just gonna walk off. I'm not gonna say one word. I'm just gonna count down from 120 to 0.
I think that's why our Portland scene is when I'm like, the more I've traveled, because when I went to Vegas, they didn't have a scene like ours.
Oh no.
We have a way bigger comedy scene than them, which is not what you'd expect. But that's why I think Portland comics are really good. I think we're dope because we have a lot of chances to get on stage and practice.
Yeah, honestly, we probably have the most open market. One, because we don't have like let me watch my words correctly. I'm not, I don't want to say nothing too stupid, okay? All I'm gonna say is there's a lot of area for new comics to infiltrate and make a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of opportunities with that, so we gotta cultivate good material.
Yes.
So then when we're getting these 10-minute stage sets at open mics, kill it. Fucking keep growing this shit, dude. Yeah.
Okay, I met some Vegas comics. I don't know if they'll see this. I don't really give a fuck. I liked them though. They were cool, but the difference between the Vegas comics and us was they couldn't do material. Was the vibe. Did you see my video when I was talking shit to the Vegas people? I had to do that.
Why?
If I did my material, I told one joke and they were just like, I feel like Vegas, it's all about showtime. You have to be loud. And like, I keep describing their comics. They're like this. Again, I'm sorry, but it's like they wanted to get famous before they got good at comedy. Or like you want to get noticed before you get good at comedy. That's why they said all the crazy words we can't say here. Like, we can talk about T word.
Yeah.
The R word.
Right.
The F word.
Oh, they're going crazy.
I got called a faggot 3 times. I got called a faggot so many times. I was so confused. I never even heard it before. I haven't heard it in like years.
Wow.
So I was like, what the fuck did you just call me?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it at a recent show I went to at the Moda Center.
It threw me off though. It's a different thing, but it's like they're really just trying to get attention as opposed because Portland's an art city though. Like we write jokes here. People write jokes. People think about the craft of comedy.
Then they think about the ramifications of comedy as far as like, oh, I have friends who are gonna judge me if they hear some shit.
Yeah.
It's shit on white people all day, but any other community you're gonna get
weird.
it gets weird. It gets weird. It gets weird.
But they deserve to be talked about. You have to be able to talk about everybody.
Right. Dahlia was on the news. She had an interview with like a famous ass news person talking about that same content. So that just made me think about that. I watched it today. I was like, fuck. And she composed the fuck out of herself. She handled the fuck out of that shit. Yeah. So I'm just thinking like we gotta. So how do you deal with content that you want to discuss without offending people?
My personal way, I don't talk about shit. I just talk about myself.
Okay.
That's exactly how I do.
But what happens after you get that hour Netflix special?
About myself?
What happens after that Netflix special?
By then I'll be a better comic and I can talk about it.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
Right now, if I only talk about myself and my truth or whatever, no one can say shit. No one can get offended. How are you gonna get offended? What are you gonna say to me, piece of shit? You don't talk about me.
Right.
Like, but once I'm a better comic, I'll talk about it. Like I feel like I'm not good enough to talk about some things yet.
Okay.
But once I'm great, I want to get great at this shit, and then I'll be able to talk about anything I feel.
What don't you feel you're good enough to talk about?
Like a mass shooting, I could talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a mass shooting, like because I started when I was 18.
Yeah.
I started when I was 18, and there was a mass shooting, and like 59 were killed in a mosque.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, that's fucked up. 59 were killed, but you couldn't have rounded out to 60. Like, give me a...
I have OCD, so honestly, yeah.
It was funny. Honestly, I don't think it did pretty bad.
That's okay.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's good to try it, but I want to get really good at what I do, and then I'm going to start branching out, because I'm going to have to soon.
Yeah.
I've talked about a lot of shit so far.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're self-sabotaging your own life to build material for your comedy set?
Like sometimes I do things because I know it'll make good material.
Well, I remember you having jokes about having a girlfriend, and now you have jokes about not having a girlfriend. Do you feel like there was some sort of contention between you having a girlfriend and you being successful at comedy?
Yeah, well, that's why I broke up with her. Because I remember, because I love her. I love my mom. I still do.
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I just remember, like, I would come home because you couldn't stay out after mics. And actually, like, the hang at open mics is almost as important as being good on stage. Which is what I tell you. Like, bodying an open mic is all well and good, but unless you know the people afterwards, the people that could get you booked, the people that could fuck with you and tell other people you're good, you're not gonna get on shit. People aren't gonna know you like that. They'll just know you're pretty good. You know. So I would like be cuddling with her and thinking like, I could be doing more comedy right now. I'd be doing more things to get better, or at least make connections in this career I want. You know. So I started growing like this kind of spite. Even though I loved her, like I started growing this weird spite. You know, and that's the only reason I did it. So it's fucked up. And it could be my own immaturity or something, like me not being able to juggle these two worlds. Because it's not even like, we're open micers at the end of the day, so it's not even that important, but this is my dream. This is all I want. This is all I've ever wanted since I was 17. This is all I've ever wanted.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. I feel that. I mean, my girlfriend broke up with me 3 days before I started comedy.
Yeah, you talked about it, and then you did.
So I didn't really have a choice, but I'm going to be honest with you. That spite that you're talking about, I totally feel that. Because in my first relationship, I always had aspirations of being somebody. I didn't know it was going to be comedy. So I always had like a little spite because I felt like I was growing attention, and then I got in a relationship and it kind of took me away from attention. Hindsight now, I'm in a relationship and I'm like, shit, I want to grow more attention. She was dope. She actually bought this fucking mic that we're talking on right now.
The golden mic.
Yeah, she supported me. So I fuck with my last ex that just dumped me. But I feel that spiteness because there's a certain part of getting into this entertainment business that comes with like sexual appeal, right?
Yes, I
like
have to flirt with people.
just the ability to be available to fuck could give you a fan. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that's a dangerous game. I mean, do you feel like you'll ever be able to be in a relationship and still pursue comedy?
Yeah. Because at the same time, like, I know, like, your weakness is hoes. Like,
Whose weakness?
Well, because you got daddy issues. I know you got daddy. You got, like, physical daddy issues and shit. Your shorts are hella short. Like, you got issues, man. I don't got daddy issues. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I don't like hoes. Stress me out. Every time I've ever had sex, I thought I had an STD. I never had an STD, but every time I put my dick in a new vagina, I thought it was burning.
Say that shit with confidence.
Every time I fucked a new girl, I thought I had an STD.
There you go.
Because I'm like neurotic or something. Like hoes stress me out. They stress me
They
out.
do. They
I
stress
like
me out
hoes.
too.
Of course I like hoes, right?
I never take my dick outside of a condom.
That's smart.
So every time I wake up from a random sexual experience,
Let me check.
I'm not nervous at all.
Shit, I don't have one.
Yeah, I used to wake up super nervous after risky sex. Those days are officially over.
That's good. But I mean, I always think about, like, what about like pussy juice? Pussy juice could get on the balls or something.
I don't care about that. If I catch a disease from, because my mom said this to me, she was like, "What about when you kiss girls?" I was like, "Mom, if I catch a disease from kissing a woman, it's over. All right, I deserve it. All right. If I catch a disease from any of the weird shit that I can't control, basically, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it."
Let's get into the philosophy of comedy.
Let's get it.
Why do you think you want to be a comedian?
Because I have a talent. That's it. I have a talent to speak to people, and I feel like when I tried comedy the first time, I made it something. I made it a fact that I was going to get on stage without any material and just freestyle. So if I don't get real laughter from just genuinely being my true, authentic self, then I don't need to keep doing this shit. So when I got the tape and I watched the shit, I was like, holy shit, I think I got something. I'm a little nervous, you know, I'm not comfortable in myself yet, but once I continue to keep practicing this shit, it's gonna keep going up. So I've been practicing, and honestly, the days that I've wanted to quit, ironically, are days that I get the most success from this shit. You know, like I remember times where I wanted to quit and then I got booked for my first show. I remember like 2 months ago I wanted to quit and then I got hit for 3 shows. Like within this days of those thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So,
But you know how, like, so comedy's typically connected to tragedy.
oh, it's all tragedy.
Are you all fucked up for some reason?
Absolutely, man. I've been through trauma. Absolutely. I wouldn't even be on stage talking to people if I hadn't been through so much trauma.
And I mean, that's where because
Yeah.
the point of comedy is to make people feel better. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why traumatized motherfuckers do it.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you do
Yeah.
it to make people feel better.
Yeah, I mean, I've had so much trauma, I forget about it. Comedy's actually helping me with therapy because I'm able to, like, remember shit. I'm like, oh, shit, a white woman did actually take a charge for me, and I did marry her, and we did get divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like all this shit actually happened. I may not remember it, but it comes back as I'm like digging my brain for material. And so like, how do you relate with trauma in comedy?
Well, that's why you know what Kyle Adams is.
Yeah, for sure.
So he has the dead mom stuff. I knew I wanted to be a comic at 17. I watched my mom die at 16.
Oh shit.
You know, and that's the thing. I don't talk about it.
Oh wow.
'Cause, like, I'll fuck around and cry on stage. I haven't like fully worked through it.
You should cry on stage.
I should.
Actually, yeah. Kyle was doing a set.
Cried on stage.
No, yeah.
Right.
Kyle was doing the set at Trails End, and he was like, "Has anyone cried on stage?" And I made a noise, and I think someone else made noise. And yeah, that was it.
So, I mean, it's something to talk about. Yeah, I watched I don't even know how that led to it. I don't know why. I don't even know why I decided I wanted to be a comedian at 17. I just remember wanting to do the talent show.
Yeah.
In my high school to do comedy, and I was too scared to do it. And I
wow.
still regret it, but I don't regret it actually because it's probably a good move.
I mean, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, I didn't, but I started at 18. So
Okay.
like, mom died at 16. Decided I wanted to be a comedian at 17. Started at 18.
Were you and your mom close?
Very close. I was raised by my mom. My dad was a meth head.
Okay.
He was gone the whole time. He was
Right.
gone, so I was raised. I didn't learn how to walk for a long time. My mom always carried me. You know,
Shit.
so like it fucked me up. It did fuck me up. I felt her hand turn cold. Type shit.
Oh wow.
Like that's some real trauma, and I don't
Yeah.
talk about it because I don't have a fucking therapist. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want. You know, I guess it's you. I guess it's you.
What do you know, Lucas?
Right.
You're looking at him. He just has a glass of tequila in his hand. That's all.
There you go. I'm gonna need your glasses.
Yeah.
God damn it. So that will fuck you up. It fucked me up. But at the same time, like, so yesterday, like I said, there was a funeral yesterday. It was the first time I spoke at a funeral, and that was hilarious. I killed it. Murdered. I got everyone laughing, and I feel like...
Not technically.
Not murdered. I didn't kill my grandma, but like, I feel like there have been a couple times in comedy, like, you know, it's competitive. There's like, you want to get ahead, you want to get famous off of it. But at the same time, there's real purpose for comedy.
Right.
Like, so at Khalifa's, one time after my set, the dude with cancer came up to me and said, like, I've been fucked up for a long time, I've been sad, but your set made me feel better.
Wow.
That's the point of comedy.
Hell
Making
yeah.
people laugh at a funeral, that's the point of comedy.
Hell yeah.
You know, like, we get in our heads and we get selfish with it, but like, there's real points, like that trauma, like leaving people's trauma, or like giving people a catharsis is the real point of comedy, I feel like.
Right.
And if you
Right.
think about that, I feel like, because we're in the long game. We're what, year one, really?
1 year. 1 year in.
'Cause I mean,
Next
I
month will
started when
be
I
a
was
year.
18. I started when I was 18. I only really count the past 11 months because that's
Yeah.
when I've been really going hard and doing it consistently. You know, but those like I said, it's an experience thing.
Yeah, it is.
Comedians don't get famous till year 10, if they make
20.
it at all. 20.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Louis didn't drop us. But he was writing and shit for shows, but he didn't really get popping until he was old.
Yeah.
But we hate Louis. Ugh.
I don't hate Louis.
I love Louis too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. He's on his own with that. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of selfish in the sense that I'm posting all my shit to YouTube until it catches, and honestly, you know, it's moving along well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just gonna keep fucking doing that. If I get a weird ass niche fan base where I can just go to like shitty clubs in like Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to fucking Mobile, you know, to some weird ass place in Indiana. Like, if there's a group of weird ass motherfuckers who will pay for me to come out there, I'll fucking do it, man. It is.
I'm on TikTok and I follow all the people that follow me.
Yeah.
And I'm like a little popping on there.
Okay.
But I follow everyone so I can see who my little niche is. They're all fucking rednecks. And I don't
Nice.
know why.
Well, I have a theory.
It's rednecks and black people though.
Yeah.
So I got like.
They're very similar in thought. The only people who are different from those thinking type of people are liberals. But that's a whole nother
It's
conversation.
like, goddamn, I love this Alden Smoke.
No, they do. Some of my good friends have rebel flags in their home, and we'll hang out and kick it and get fucked up together. And he's got a rebel flag, and he'll call me nigga in an endearing way. You know what I'm saying?
A white dude?
Absolutely. In Virginia, absolutely. It's all love. Yeah, but you know, so how do you have black friends?
Yeah.
Okay. How
My
was
best
your
friends are black.
how are your relationships with black people, black comedy? Like, is there a difference between like the traditional comedy and like doing comedy in front of black people?
Well, there's no black crowds in Portland, so I don't know really. But I do know the only people that roast each other in Portland are black comics. I know because it's like they're not even my best friends. Like my three, like they consider me a brother. I'm like a Newton boy, you know. Like my three best friends are my three brothers because I've been friends with. My best friend's been a black dude. I've been friends with him since 6th grade. You know, I'm like ingratiated in his family. You know, so that's the only reason. The only reason I feel kind of connected, I
Right.
guess.
He's a real one.
That's why I like talking shit. That's why I love the black comedians, because they're the only people that roast each other. They're the only people that talk shit. I feel like that's important. I feel like that's an important muscle to work.
Oh, yeah.